the heck is Safari when you need him? Because in this moment, I want to say TMZ, go suck no mama. You know, that Jamaican lingo? Because TMZ definitely deserves it. TMZ has an article out where they're talking about Jason Oppenheim, saying that, there's no problem to represent Ye. But TMZ is saying Jason Oppenheim, some realtors see no problem with a Jew representing anti Semitic Ye. It's just so sick and disgusting. Jason is a businessman and the world is paying attention to what is going on. No one wants to promote hate. No one wants to carry hatred around because no one wins when they do that. And as I've been saying to you guys, Jason Oppenheim is a very smart, highly intellectual gentleman. He's very prestigious, yes, and he does have class. But at the same time, make no mistakes, Jason is nobody's fool. And he's standing 10 toes down on professionalism. And he's saying, like hell, if Ye wants me to sell this property and it is within my league, like hell, I'm going to sell this property for this man, right? Let's talk about this report that is coming out from TMZ, because we know once something is going on with Ye, TMZ is going to try to, do the most hateful thing, them and the Daily Mail. And there's another thing that people need to realize and understand, and that is there seems to be an open season against Black men in America because there's so much hate that is being promoted now towards Black men. If you're not careful, you're gonna end up on the hate train, not realizing that it's a plan to attack the Black community, but they're doing so in a tactful manner. Be careful. Do not support any hate train against Black, pink, white, purple, or blue. Do not let any past feud that you may have with someone, whether they may be white, maybe they be Jewish or Muslim, do not allow any past feud that you've had with an individual sets you up to, be a part of any hate campaign. Look for the truth. If it's Donald Trump, do not fall for the hate campaign because Donald Trump isn't always wrong, okay? If it is Joe Biden, do not fall for the hate campaign because Joe Biden isn't always wrong. If it's Kim Kardashian, do not fall for the hate campaign because Kim Kardashian isn't always wrong. I hope you guys get the gist of what I'm saying. You guys should find the truth for yourself and do not be persuaded. We're in an era of brainwash mentality. We're in an era of MLK Ultra. Do not allow the media to brainwash you and take away your natural ability of thinking, ciphering into things, and using your common sense. Do not allow anyone to take away your humanity from you. And I've learned this from a Jewish movie, a movie that I've watched about the Holocaust. There's one thing I can always say is that when you are around the right set of Jewish people who are about love, peace, and unity, they have so much amazing lessons to impart on you. Don't let anyone convince you that everyone that is Jewish is evil and hateful. It's not true, because I have beautiful Jewish people in my circle that are about love, principles, respect for everyone. And why I'm saying that is because of an article that is coming out now, right? So basically, it's as though they were saying because Jason is Jewish, he should not be, you know, selling his property. And Jason is like, how stupid is that? So you're telling me that if I get a client, right, I should ask the client, are you for Israel or are you for Palestine? Are you a Republican or are you a Democrat? And I have to say, God works in mysterious ways. And I believe that this is one of the mysterious ways that God is working in this moment. Let's talk about it, shall we? Now, according to this report, right? TMZ is saying Jason Oppenheim, president and founder of the famed Oppenheim Group, which is the same, guys that we see on Selling Sunset, is now representing Kanye West. And why is it that TMZ can't refer to Ye as Ye? The man has changed his name. Respect that he wants to be referred to as Ye. If they had said Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, that would be the right way to go about it. But they don't respect people, and we cannot give respect to people who doesn't respect people. I believe that respect is something that you earn. It's not something that someone just take and give to you, because if someone doesn't respect me, like hell, I'm gonna give you back that energy times 10. And I stand 10 toes down on that. But let's talk about this article. Let's continue with this, right? So they're talking about Jason representing Ye in the sale of his Malibu beachfront estate. And there's been some criticism. Oppenheim should not represent an anti-Semite. You know who's an anti-Semite? The man, the leader that y'all have over there bombing babies, bombing people off their homeland. That is who is an anti-Semite. Like, I cannot understand this. I can never understand this. How is it that a group of people fled from Europe, they came to Jamaica, they went to Gaza, and they enslaved Jamaicans, right? They said that they were fleeing from the Holocaust, but then they went to other countries to repeat what they claim they were running from. Like, how does that even make any sense, right? And this is how, if anyone uses those arguments to deny the Holocaust, you can't even blame them. Because as a Jamaican, if I want to say the Holocaust did not happen, I have all right to do so, because my people were enslaved by Jewish people. Immediately after they fled to Europe, they said that they fled the Holocaust, they came to Jamaica, and they became slave owners. How do you do something cruel and brutal to people that you were running away from, right? And there were Jewish people who said that they should never happen again. And those Jewish people stand 10 toes down on that. And they have been good to people. But then there's another set who continues to promote hate, mischief, strife, and segregation. And these things should not be promoted nor supported. But let's continue, shall we? Right? They're saying Jason should not represent an anti-Semite. But we've contacted some IN realtors who feel it is absurd to have a litmus test on which client they will represent. The LA realtors we have spoken with say there's no way in this divided social and political climate anyone can do business by excluding clients whose views they find offensive. The example that repeatedly comes up is the war in the Middle East. As one IN realtor put it, what are we supposed to do? Ask a potential client if they side with Israel or Palestine? Like, really. And we have to be appreciative people who use logical thinking. But let's continue with this article. They're saying an extremely successful LA realtor begged to differ, saying, "Wait a minute, Kanye is one of the biggest anti Semites in the world. I would never represent him ever." But another realtor said, "Are we supposed to see if a client is registered Republican and say, 'Screw you, I'm not representing you'? It goes beyond religion and politics," one realtor said. What if a client has an offensive post on Instagram? Or what if the client is in the middle of a nasty divorce and I side with their spouse, right? And that makes sense. There are several give and takes. As I've said in this case, what if I should say, as Jamaican, our history books have shown that Jewish people were slave owners. They were brutal and wicked to slaves. They dealt with lynching. They dealt with torture and everything. So I'm not going to believe that they experienced the set amount of cruelty as we did, as my ancestors did, because how is it that you were exposed to a brutal treatment and you had to flee Europe to save your life, but then you come to my country and you repeat the said brutal treatment onto another group of people, the said brutal treatment that you fled Europe from, you brought it to Jamaica. How is it that you're fleeing an Holocaust to come into another man's country to repeat an Holocaust that you have been running away from? And should I hold everything that the former Jewish slave owners did to Black people against Jewish people today? No, it would not be fair for me to say, you know what? I'm not going to go into that store because it is owned by a Jewish man or a Jewish woman. When my Jewish neighbors moved next door, if we had all said, you know what, we're Jamaicans and Jews were once slave owners and no Jews is welcome in Jamaica, would that be fair? No, because we're generalizing. And what happened in the past, no one today should be held accountable for it unless there is some indication that those individuals are directly involved. And also, people do make mistakes. And also, there was a lot of misunderstanding in what Ye said, and it was cleared up going forward. Not only that, we're going to be real honest. Ye did apologize, and he apologized on numerous occasions, but his apology was never taken into an account, while the Jewish community has never apologized to the Black community for the numerous racism that was hurled at us. So we need to have healthy, respectful, honest discussion, and let's try to sugarcoat things, and let's stop trying to sugarcoat things and make it seem as though, we're not bright, intelligent beings when we are. We are better than today's leaders. And I'm happy that Jason is taking that by the forefront to prove that we are better than the leaders of today's society. But let's continue with this article, shall we? Now, they're saying several realtors said it's ridiculous to think they would Google every prospective client to look for a reason not to represent that person. And one realtor who was at one time a participating lawyer said it's absurd to think an attorney would judge a client before taking a case, adding, "It's just not reality." And a realtor we spoke with said, "What if a client had a different view on gay marriage?" He said, "At some point, it just becomes impossible to do business," right? They're saying that same realtor asks, "What about the buyer who pays Kanye $53 million for the Malibu property?" before adding, "What if Kanye goes to Mercedes dealership? Should they not sell him a car?" And I have to say, TMZ, This is a good article, right? This is a good article, but you guys need to stop labeling this man as being anti-Semitic or an anti-Semite. I know that, instructions have been given to you guys in the media, but it needs to end, because the only thing that's going to happen when these things continue is that we're going to promote more hate, more segregation in the population, and people are going to lose their lives if we do not take back the narrative from the government and the fake leaders, because these aren't real leaders. These people that are in control, they are fake as hell. They don't care about you. They don't care about I. What they want to do is just, do you remember back in the days of the Roman Empire when they want to see the gladiators in the pit and they want to witness that bloodshed because it gets them going? That's how they get their kicks. That is what today's leaders want. They want to sit up high, look down low on us, going at each other's neck. And we should never ever give them such pleasure. And that's all I have to share in this video with you guys. Let me know, what are your thoughts? And while you're at it, go ahead, give this video a big thumbs up, share if you care, and see you all later. Peace